GSC again. Remember that one time I worked on a Mini Cooper and put a spark plug back in it because it spit it out? Yeah, about that. It burned the valves. So I'm going to turn this around and talk about what's going to have to happen because there's an entire pile of parts sitting just to the right of me. So the old Mini burned a valve. Cylinder 2, zero compression, definitely a problem. And unfortunately, it is going to make race season for her very short if I don't get this done. It's the neighbor's wife's race Mini. You know, went to high school together, did 4-H together, we all know each other. So it's kind of ironic that I'm doing race car things for them because, well, it's what I like to do, and he happens to be a contractor carpenter. So two totally different trades, and frankly, I'll let him do the woodworking and hammer swinging, and I'll keep turning wrenches, at least on the side and for fun, because it's what I like to do for a hobby. I have to get the cylinder head out of this car. It's kind of a tight fit, so I think what I'm going to do to start is get the intercooler off, get these charge horns off the supercharger, air intake out, battery box out, get all my plugs dismantled here, exhaust, valve cover. Just get the top kind of accessible, and that way I can see what I got going on. And then figure out, do I really need to pull this motor mount in order to get the cylinder head out of this car? That's TBD. So I'm going to grab some tools, get working, and as I go, I'll show you as I start plucking parts out of this car. Intercooler's out. All it is a 5mm hex, and these are T30 for the clamps. Get those out of the way, 2 on either side. Once those are out, you've got to take and get your fuel rail out and get these intercooler brackets removed. They are 8mm bolts. Looks like 3 of them on each side. I'll have to get a good long extension to get to that back one here. But once these are off and the fuel system's out, I can work on taking this charge horn off, loosening this charge horn, and removing the valve cover. So we'll get these 2 standoffs out to get the fuel rail out, push, pull forward and push, and there's a quick connect. Watch for the gas to blow everywhere. These right here are for a vacuum line. Just pop them up very gently. These are 13mm, so once you get your line off, get these 2 13s out, and then to remove an injector, all you have to do here is, you can see it, there's a little stainless clip. You just push the clip and pull, and it unplugs your injectors. So I'll go ahead and work on getting these bolts out, getting this quick connect off, get this rail out, get these 2 out with the 8mm, and keep working our way towards the back of the engine bay. We're getting there. Intercooler's off, fuel rail's off, valve cover's off, making progress. Now I gotta work back here to this exhaust manifold, get that off, get this intake runner off the front, and then I'm ready to drain coolant and hopefully, hypothetically, get this car ready for a new cylinder head, maybe before the weekend. We'll see. Exhaust is free, it's mobile, just dangling there. They are 10mm shallow head bolts and a tin gasket. Do not bend the tin gasket so you can reuse it again, because those gaskets are not cheap. And realistically, if they're damaged, you don't need to replace them. So exhaust is off. I might as well start on the front here. And as my part 1, get the exhaust off, get the intake side off, and that way tomorrow I can drain coolant and see if I can't get the cylinder head off this thing. So time to do some charge horns here. They are what look to be 13mm, 3 of them. The bottom one looks a little sketch and it may fall off, so I'll try to catch that. And then our intake bolts here, 1, 2, 3, 4, and it looks like there's just 5. There may be a 6th one hidden. I'll get this off and we'll explore it, and then I'll see what's next. After some tinkering around here, I got the intake horn off and the throttle body is just laid back. The intake ports here, runners, are off. You can't pull them all the way off unless you pull the supercharger, and frankly, you got to take the whole front of the car off and pull the motor mounts out to do that. I'll just pull it back, and when I remove the cylinder head, I'll come up and back with it to clear this front stud here. But now we're down to basically drain the coolant. As you can see, I got a nice little blue dot on my cam sprocket here. And once the coolant's drained and I get that cam sprocket off, it'll be home stretch to get the cylinder head off. So that's where I'm gonna wrap this video up. Disassembly and getting this thing apart, get that sprocket off, get the gear out of the way, and I'm planning to take all these brackets and lines off tomorrow. So keep on following us for more updates, and tomorrow hopefully I'll have the cylinder head off. Thanks everybody.